8 most powerful wealth creation tips. Benjamin Franklin published a book called Poor Richard's Almanac in 1758 with a preface titled The Way to Wealth. This preface has been one of the most frequently cited works on wealth formation in history. Industry, treatment, frugality, and awareness are the 4 components of Franklin's preface. Tip number 1. First and foremost, lost time will never be recovered. This tip clearly states that wasting time makes it harder. We are more likely to achieve results if we are more successful and doing. Franklin said that claiming you don't have enough time and then deferring tasks until later are resulted in you not having enough time later. We have so many distractions in modern culture, the most prominent of which is social media, that we are more likely to waste time. You'll never get the time back. Be aware of where you spend your time and what you do about it. Tip number 2. Getting up early and going to bed early makes a man or woman fit, prosperous, and wise. You're faced with the thought that waking up early gives you an advantage. Getting up early helps you to jump right into your day and accomplish the most productive tasks first. The most productive path to riches is to wake up early and prioritize doing things that will help you reach your goals. It's a difference between wishing or hoping and creating, according to Franklin. It is our duty to make better wealth a reality. Tip number 3. There are no benefits without a corresponding amount of suffering. You've always heard the phrase, no pain, no gain. This is the same idea, and it's most likely where the current slogan came from. Any type of wealth development necessitates effort, and effort often necessitates pain. Pain can come in the form of personal effort, loss management, or simply recognizing that wealth creation takes time. But one thing Franklin was adamant about was that nothing comes easily to those who work hard. Tip number 4. Don't put off until tomorrow what you should do today. Another follow-up to the previous action-oriented suggestions. To put it another way, don't put off until tomorrow what you should do today, when there is so much that you, your family, and your resources will gain from it. Don't be idle, stick to it regularly, and you'll see great results. Franklin clarified that each action builds on the previous one, and that these actions add up to a substantial result over time. This is an extremely effective lesson. Take precautions. In the last 200 years, the component of care has changed the most. Since Franklin was implying in this segment that if you want something done right, you can do it yourself. He was also implying that you should make sure that everything you do is done well and with care. Outsourcing activities has become standard practice in today's culture, where things change too quickly and individuals are taking on more and more responsibilities. It is fair to assign tasks in which you lack experience. Alternatively, you might pay someone to do your chores so you can spend your time on more money-generating activities. In today's world, this is fair and rational. The lesson from Franklin's job, however, remains. Tip number 5. The master's eye can do more work than both his hands combined. Franklin is implying that we must be steady, settled, and cautious in our industry, or our actions, and oversee our own affairs through our own eyes. You would be better suited to get the master's eye if you have these abilities. You won't have to rely on others, people you might not know and who aren't really driven solely by your money. Keep thy shop, and thy shop will keep thee. Benjamin Franklin, frugality, on the other hand, is a component whose fundamentals have remained unchanged. I've previously addressed the importance of reducing and eliminating consumer debt, or debt that is not linked to investments. Franklin was well aware of the expense of debt and the effects of not handling one's finances. The idea behind frugality is that you can only spend money on things that you really need. Given the ease with which people can obtain credit and the expectation of people in modern society to have everything now, this idea is more relevant today than ever before. We live in an age of instant gratification, and everything is available online, making it very easy to fulfill a desire for something we don't really need. Simple self-control will save you thousands of dollars per year, which you can put into growing your money. Tip number 6. Think about investing as well as earning if you want to be rich. A straightforward definition that can be applied to any type of wealth formation. Simply put, you should try to save money wherever you can. If it's from your wages, or more importantly, from your outgoings. Before you start investing, pay yourself first and set aside some money from each paycheck. This is such a simple idea, and the power of cumulative returns described in tip number 4 will support it greatly over time. The more vigilant you are in investing, the higher your returns will be over time. Tip number 7, be wary of small expenses. Even a small leak can sink a big ship. I've already explained that you must have a structure in place to handle your finances. This is precisely what this tip is supposed to emphasize. Hints for generating capital. You'll be surprised by how many tiny leaks there are if you take the time to watch where your money goes. Consider the extra coffee you had the day before. You're wearing a pair of shoes that you don't even need. These are the kind of leaks that would ruin your wealth building plans. I've lost track of how many times people have told me they can't afford to create wealth because they can't afford it. Is that true? If you can save $20 a week, you could buy a rental home. Tip number 8, buy what you don't need and you'll soon sell your necessities. Avoid buying items you don't need, which is an extension of tip number 7. The classic example of this trap is the weekend sale deal you received. Most sales are good because they persuade people to purchase items that they don't really need. Check your closet and count the number of things you've never worn or just worn once to see if you've fallen into this pit. But they were a good deal, right? The extreme result of this tip is that if you keep buying stuff you don't need, you'll eventually have to sell things you do need to get out of this financial mess you've made. Expertise Franklin described knowledge as the combination of reason and wisdom. He claims that instead of relying solely on your own industry and frugality, you should aspire to learn from experience and information growth. Modern culture has simplified the process of acquiring information. On the internet, you can get knowledge and education on any topic in a matter of seconds. And you should gain knowledge, because knowledge is the key to wealth creation. Please don't dismiss these lessons because they are easy. The fact that they are so basic is what makes them so successful. As I previously said, accumulating wealth is not difficult. All you need to know is what to do and how to do it. If you want to know more financial tips like these, make sure to give this video a like and click subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.